Hey there, I'm TJ, a Belgian cook. Today we're making healthy-ish mini tacos by replacing taco shells with little gem heart lettuce. But don't worry, if you're not into healthy stuff, make this with some actual tacos and it will probably taste even better. We'll start off by prepping all of our vegetables. I used 1 bell pepper, feel free to use 2, cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Next, I cut 1 red onion into fine slices. These are the 2 veggies I would say have to be in here. I'm also adding some more and add whatever you want to. But a couple of bell peppers and any onion really will go a long way in this dish. Next, we'll add some garlic, because there aren't many dishes that don't work with a bit of garlic. So I added 3 cloves, and if you have very big ones, 1 or 2 might be enough. But here's a tip, keep all of the peels of your garlic. It contains a lot of garlic taste, so it's great to make garlic chili oil, and I'll make a recipe for that in the future. Another tip, smash your garlic cloves with your knife. This way the clove pretty much gets cut for you. A couple of cuts against the grain will do now. I'm also adding some spring onion. The hard part I'm going to cook in the dish and the soft part I'm using as a garnish to make the dish look extra nice. Next, I'm prepping 2 tomatoes. I want a tomato sauce, so here's a quick way to do it. Get out your box grater and grate the tomato using the palm of your hand. It's a bit of a janky way, but it's really fast, and otherwise I had to boil water, then put the tomatoes in for a minute, let them cool, remove the skin and then cut them up. A lot of work. Anyway, once grated, you're left with the skin of the tomatoes, so dispose of that and you're good to go. Finally, I'm going to prep the little gem hearts. I basically cut a part of the stem and then you can remove the leaves very easily. As you can see, these will make for great lettuce taco cups. I'm also adding some canned veggies. First, some corn. And I'll also add some red kidney beans. Some tomato paste to boost the umami flavor. I added this entire can. Next up, I like to make some of my own spice mix for this dish. I start off with about 3 teaspoons of cumin. This is really the most important spice of this dish. The others, you could skip some of them if you don't have them, but this one needs to be in here. Next up, about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Then I'll add some cinnamon as well, about a teaspoon or a little less. I like my food spicy, so I'm adding some jalapeno powder. You could use pili pili, cayenne, or nothing at all if you don't like it hot. Next, I'm adding some nutmeg. Again, a little less than a teaspoon will do. And I also added some onion flakes because I had them, but you really don't need to. And also get out about 300 grams of beef and pork mince. Take out any pan that is not non-stick. You want there to be stickage. Drizzle some olive oil into the pan and let it heat up. I added a bit of the mince to the pan to check if it was hot enough, and it was not, but once it was, I added the mince. Break it up into chunks, but not too small. We want the pieces of meat to caramelize on the bottom, so also don't stir too much. After a while, you'll see that the bottom of your pan is brown, and this is exactly what we want. Do not try to clean this off. It's called fond, it's caramelized bits of fat and meat, and it's packed with flavor. Once we get a nice brown layer on our meat, we can go ahead and take it out of the pan. You might want to add a little drizzle of extra olive oil, reduce your heat a bit, and then we'll add the garlic so that it can release some of its flavor into the oil. After a minute or so, we'll add our fresh vegetables, and don't add the tomatoes just yet. Let these veggies sweat off for a couple of minutes, and then we'll add our tomato paste. Again, let it mingle in the pan for a minute. Then we'll add our tomatoes. And as you can see, the brown layer on our pan just loosens up very easily and dissolves into the sauce. My mixture was a bit dry, so I added a small glass of water. Next, we'll bring this up to taste. I started off with about 2.5 teaspoons of our spice mix. Don't add everything just yet, you can always add more later. I kept it like this actually because I didn't really need any more taste. So be careful, don't go overboard, you can always add more. I also added 3 pinches of table salt, a couple of drizzles of lime juice. This will bring some acidity into the dish. If you don't have this, add something else that's acidic like a fruity vinegar or some wine. Then I'm adding a teaspoon of chicken stock powder. You can also crush up a stock cube. Lastly, I want to give it some sweetness. I don't really use refined sugar, so I'm adding about 1.5 teaspoons of stevia. Stir it up, let it reduce for 2 minutes or so, and add the corn and the kidney beans. Then stir up again. Now we'll add our meat back in. With a fork, we can make the pieces of meat a bit smaller. Let it all mingle for a final 2 minutes, and then the mixture is complete. Take it off the heat. Let's plate up. We'll grab a leaf of lettuce and fill it up with our taco filling. Then we'll top it off with some of our spring onion as a garnish, and that's it. Feel free to add some sauce, some sour cream, some cheese, but honestly it tastes really good just as is. I am really happy with how this turned out, it was delicious. Anyway, thanks for watching, this has been TJ, a Belgian cook, and I'll see you in the next video.